A research degree differs from a taught degree, like a taught master's or an undergraduate, in that as part of it you must complete original research. And by the time you graduate, human knowledge will have been expanded. And another difference is that there are no formal taught elements, unlike an undergraduate degree. That means that each research degree is unique and has its content determined by the researcher. That means there's much more of an emphasis on self-learning and self-sufficiency. Now, the length of the degree will depend on which qualification you're studying for, and note that PhDs in particular in the UK are different from PhDs in the rest of the world, like America, for example. UK PhDs are shorter than American PhDs, they have their research goals defined from the outset, and there are no formal taught elements. So, why should you consider doing a research degree? Well, the key reason is that you're passionately interested about something academic. Yes, there are side benefits like connections to industry, networking, going to cool places on fieldwork, but the key reason you should be considering is whether you are passionate about something academic and you can see yourself doing pretty much only that thing for several years of your life. Now, should you choose after a research degree, you will be perfectly positioned to join academia with experience gained in teaching, marking, and giving presentations that you can carry on to the start of your academic life. A supervisor is the professional researcher who guides your research from conception to completion. Completing a research degree is like guiding a large ship through a harbour safely to the sea. Your supervisor is a tugboat, nudging you in the right direction, keeping you away from the rocks. But ultimately, you are driving the ship. That means that a good working relationship between student and supervisor is essential for research to go smoothly. Your supervisor must be somebody that you get along with, that you can see yourself working with closely for several years, and ultimately is somebody who is an expert in their particular research field. Now, a supervisor can expect their student to work independently on ideas of their own conception, but that their student will need help with the technical aspects of their research and with directing their research to make sure that it's completed on time. A student can expect their supervisor to offer help if, and more likely when, it's needed, to meet with them regularly to monitor their progress, but they can't expect their supervisor to do their work for them. The student and supervisor must work together to define the research aims and deadlines of each degree, meaning that no two research degrees are alike. So to identify a supervisor, first identify which universities are doing research in the area that you are interested in. Then use those universities' websites to identify which department that research is happening in. And then lastly, use department websites to identify specific researchers who are researching your very specific field of interest. And bear in mind that if your interest is interdisciplinary, you may need to look at multiple departments at the same university. Lastly, here at Exeter, we have a searchable database of projects which have been created by supervisors ready-made in their field of interest. A research proposal is a concise summary of what you intend to research, how you intend to research it, where it fits in with the broader context of research on the subject, and the significance of what you're proposing to do. It's a key part of how universities decide who gets to do a PhD or not. So, it better be good. In writing one, there are two key points that you want to get across. Firstly, that you are capable of critical, independent thought and learning. And secondly, that you're capable of clearly communicating what you're proposing to do. Both of these are critical factors in completing any research degree. So when writing your project specifically, make sure you include a bibliography of relevant literature. Make sure that you've checked it thoroughly for spelling and grammatical errors, and that you've iterated through the process of writing and editing several times. Don't just turn in your first draft. Make the reader interested in what you're proposing to research and in you. And much more information about how to create a perfect research proposal is available on the Exeter Postgraduate website. And remember that in some areas, our academics have developed predefined projects which you don't have to write a research proposal to apply for. Each application to a research degree is considered individually, and there are no set rules about who will be successful in that application and who won't. Generally, successful applicants have at least a 2-1 honours degree in a relevant subject, or equivalent, and a taught master's. Although for some science projects, a taught master's isn't always required. Make sure you've checked the website for more information. In addition to academic qualifications though, your independent study skills are incredibly important. Your ability to work as part of a team, your ability to ask for help if needed, and your general intellectual curiosity are all very important. Then lastly, if English isn't your first language, you'll need to meet English language requirements. Generally, Exeter asks for a minimum of 6.5 in the IELTS academic, although some programs have additional requirements that you have to meet. Again, check the website for more information. Just remember that the university isn't after just academic results, but after you as a person. Applying for a research degree at the University of Exeter can be broken down into a few simple steps. Though bear in mind the process is a little bit more complicated than we present in this video, so make sure you check the Postgraduate website for all the information. The first step is to identify what you would like to research. What can you see yourself happily doing in great detail for several years? And once you've done this, you have two options. Either apply for a pre-defined research project listed by the university on the Postgraduate Research website, or write a research proposal outlining what you would like to do specifically. And we did a whole video about what a research proposal is and how to write one. Once you've done this, it's a good idea to identify and contact your potential supervisor. And if you are writing a research proposal, based on your interactions with them, fold in their comments into your research proposal. Draft it, redraft it till it's perfect. And then the final step, submit your application on the Postgraduate website. And do take careful note when you start this process of what the submission date and time deadlines are. And bear in mind that the time will be UK time.